Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about all of the Luton signings that we made in the January transfer window. I'll be talking about the players who have also left the club and also the players that have signed to the club. But before I get on with the video guys, today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is a free football app which you guys can download for free on the Apple Store or on the Play Store. Now, yesterday, we all know that the transfer window closed, but did you keep updated with all the signings that took place? Now, if you didn't, you can go on the OneFootball app and find out which teams made what signings. So, go on the home page and then you go on the transfer tab and go on to, well, you select all. Mine's already been selected. And obviously, you go down and you see which players went to which club. As we can see, Josh Maja went from France to Fulham. He's a great youngster that hopefully could get some playing time at Fulham. If you guys want to check out all the deals that took place yesterday on January transfer deadline day, make sure you download the OneFootball app. But first we're going to talk about the players that have left the club. So Harry Isted, our third choice young goalkeeper, has gone back out on loan to Willstone, which is a great move for him. He's done well there, so it made sense to put him back out on loan. I don't know if there's a recall option in his contract again, which means we could recall him back. I'm not too sure, but I feel like he needs to gain playing time. Next year, he won't go out on loan. He'll play in our under-23 system, so we can keep him at the club and he can improve that way instead of sending him out on loan. That's the good thing with us, that we've got a good under-23s coming next season. It means that we don't have to keep sending out some of our youngsters for playing time. They'll play in the under-23s league, and if they perform well in that, then they could get a call up to the first team, just like that. The next player that we sent out on loan was Peter Kioso. Now, Kioso done very well at Bolton, and we did recall him back, and I thought, oh, are we going to play him? But no, we did send him out on loan to Northampton in League One. Now, I know Bolton fans are annoyed with that, but at the end of the day, he's playing League One football. We want what's best for our players. I'd rather he play League One football than League Two football. You know, it's a better standard of football. He improves better, he develops better, and that's what's more important for us. We have to be a bit selfish, and yeah, I feel like Kioso will learn much more at League One Northampton, because Bolton really are not performing, are they, in League Two? They've had a poor season so far, so hopefully in League One, Kioso can continue what he was doing in League Two and bring it to Northampton. But he's had a very good loan spell so far. The next player that went out on loan was Gabriel Osho. Now, Gabriel Osho went out on loan to National League side Yeovil. He played there for a month just to regain fitness because he didn't really have a pre-season in the summer. He had that fitness, he's come back, he played once in the FA Cup for us. I don't think he was going to get much playing time from now to the end of the season. I think we're quite covered at the back now. So it made sense to send him out on loan. And he's gone out on loan to Rochdale, who are going to play him, who are going to give him minutes, and who are going to develop him as well, which is the most important thing. We want these players playing week in, week out. So hopefully at the end of the season, Osho and Kioso come back to Luton and come back as better players. And the last player that left the club to go out on loan was Elliot Lee. Now, Elliot Lee went out on loan to Oxford. That's actually a really good move for him because Oxford, they want to get into the playoffs. They want to get promotion to the Championship. They actually have a really good squad. So he will be competing for a place at Oxford. A good decision by the club to do this because Elliot Lee, he's not impacted this season whatsoever. A little bit gutting for us because we've offered him a 2-year deal, I believe. So we can't get rid of him in the summer, which is a shame because he's not really doing it in the Championship. This is his second attempt at trying to be a Championship player, and he's just not doing it. He has his moments, but too often this year especially, he just goes missing. And we become a team that's playing with 10 players because he doesn't really impact the game whatsoever, defensively or going forward. So hopefully Elliot Lee gets some game time. He is a League One player in my opinion, so he should be playing for Oxford, and hopefully he gets them promoted to the Championship. So let's talk about the players that have come in this month. So firstly, Naismith. I like Naismith. From what I've seen from him so far, he's a player that is just going to be useful for us. You know, whenever we need him in a certain position, we could just throw him in, which is great for a manager. Imagine as a manager, like you need a centre-back. Yeah, Naismith. Need a left-back. Naismith. Need to play in centre-mid. Naismith. You know, you've got a player who can play in a lot of positions, which is great. I don't think he's an attacker. I don't think that's his strengths. I think his strengths are more the defensive side of things, and he does replace Norrington Davis, who was recalled back by Sheffield United to go back out on loan to Stoke. So that replacement there is sorted. Naismith will do the job, And like I said, from what I've seen from him so far, he's performed. You know, he's quite useful, and fingers crossed he can continue to perform from now until the end of the season. He's experienced, he's championship experience, he's got that quality, he's played at this level before. Good age as well, 28, 29. We got him at his best really, so hopefully he can stay fit and help us climb up that table. The next player we signed in the January transfer window was a player called Tomins. Obviously, Tomins is a well-known player throughout the Football League. He was a player at Blackpool who had a bright future ahead of him. Hasn't really lived up to those expectations. He is the son of, you know, former England international and Manchester United player Paul Ince, but yeah, he hasn't really lived up to that hype which he had at Blackpool, which is such a shame really, because his career, you know, when you look at it, you think he should have done better with it. The only concern which I have with Tom Ince is his attitude. Is his attitude going to be correct? Now, I know he's had a few bad moves. Stoke fans are delighted to obviously get rid of him. I'm not taking any notice of that because Stoke fans were delighted to get rid of Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones has come back to us and done a brilliant job. And to be fair, we're only 5 points away from Stoke. So Stoke fans can moan all they want about Nathan, but the fact that he's only 5 points away from you just shows you how good of a manager he actually is and how tough managing Stoke actually really is, because people think managing Stoke's easy when you've got players full of egos. It's not. It's actually quite difficult. And Nathan found it extremely hard. But we're not talking about Nathan Jones. We're talking about Tom Ince. Tom Ince, for me, if we can get that Blackpool player or the Derby version of Tom Ince, we've got a fantastic player. What do I mean by this? Well, Tom Ince done very well at Blackpool, like I said earlier, but he also done very good at Derby. If we could get that player that performed really well for Derby week in, week out, then we're going to have a very good player on our hands. And he's 29, you know, he's got the quality. He hasn't played at all really for Stoke this year. He also played under Nathan Jones as well. He actually did alright under Nathan. If you look at his stats under Nathan, they weren't the best stats, but they also weren't the worst stats in the league. They were average. So if we can try and improve that and make him more hungry. In his interview, he said he's hungry to play, he's hungry to prove himself, which I like. My only issue is, does he have the right attitude to do that? Because like I said, he's had a few bad moves. But then again, which footballer hasn't had a bad move? You know, on his day, he's got really good quality. Dribbling ability, he's very good. Skillful, you know, he's not afraid to shoot either. You know, what he likes to do is he goes from the right and cuts inside with his left foot. He can also play on the left as well. You know, he's a good attacker and he's better than what we have at the club. He's better than Cornick, he's better than Clark, better than Monker, he's better than all of our attackers. So it's an improvement. And the fact that we can attract a player like Tom Ince is very good for us. Now, the reason why it looks good for us is because players will notice that and go, wow, Tom Ince has gone to Luton. You know, Luton must be doing good things. And what that does is it opens the door for other like good quality players to come to Luton and go, actually, Luton is a good place to play your football at. So hopefully this is a message to the league and to other supporters that, you know, we are going to bring good players to the club and we are going to try and push up the table with our limited budget. So overall, I'm quite happy that we have signed Tom Ince. Like I said, though, he needs the right attitude to prove himself with us and, you know, obviously return back to his best football. And the last player which we signed in the January transfer window, and it was confirmed after the deadline, but it was okay because obviously the paperwork was done before, is a player called Adebayo. Now, Elijah is a striker from League 2. He played for Walsall and we have signed him on a permanent transfer. Now, the fee is unknown, but we have beaten a lot of clubs to Elijah. Now, Huddersfield put in a bid for, I believe, over 250k for him. And from what I've read online and from what other people have said, Luton have put in a lower bid than 250k. So maybe we're looking at 150 to 200k for Elijah. But we signed a striker. Now, in my last video against Blackburn, in my match reaction, I said that we need attackers. We've signed 2 attackers this January transfer window, which is amazing. We've done which I wanted us to do, which is great. But I am very excited with Adebayo. Now, Adebayo is a 6'4" striker, powerhouse, great target man. He has scored 10 goals for Walsall this season, so he's already in double figures for the year. He's 23, young, you know, hungry. I'm very excited to see what Adebayo can do. 6'4", by the way, 6'4", someone different. You know, we don't have a striker that's that tall at the club. He's going to give us a different option going forward. I know you shouldn't judge players by their highlight videos, but this guy, he looks brilliant. We look like we've found a very good player on the cheap, by the way. And I'm very excited to see what Adebayo can offer for us. Do I reckon he's going to start straight away? Probably not. I reckon he'll probably have a few bench appearances and then potentially could start. But he is like going from League 2 to Championship, so it's whether or not he can handle that step up. Is he going to solve all of our problems? I'm not too sure. But at least Luton have attempted and tried to solve the issue, which is scoring goals. You know, Ince, hopefully he could create those chances for us to score goals. And hopefully Alibayo can obviously score those chances, which we need. You know, he's a great link-up player as well. I've seen him a few times this season. Great link-up play. You know, his first touch is there. Good finisher as well. So, fingers crossed, you know, he's going to solve our problems. But he does look like a player that we can work with, that we can improve and obviously get better. At a good age as well, like I keep saying. I'm excited to see what Adebayo can do at Luton. So there you have it. That's all the business which we did in the January transfer window. How do I rate our transfer window? I give it a strong 8. You know, 8 out of 10. It's a good window for us. We've improved. That's the main thing. It's coming out of a transfer window improved, which we have. You know, apart from Norton Davis, that's the only player which we didn't want to let go. But we've improved, we've replaced him, you know, and we've, yeah, like I keep saying, we've got better, which is the main objective. We've gave a few of our youngsters some game time, which is very important for their development. And we've also solved the problems which we needed to solve for the remaining of the season. Now, hopefully these players can solve that problem. If they don't, then we look back at it in the summer and try and improve it in the summer. But I'm very excited to see what Luton can potentially do from now until the end of the season. Do I think we're going to get playoffs? No. I think playoffs we're not ready for. But I won't say no if the players do get in them. But for me, it's about finishing as high as you can. How far can we go up the Championship? Let's get a few more wins. Let's make sure that we can guarantee staying up. That's the main objective. And then from there, we can see how, like, obviously, how close we can get to the playoffs, you know, and set a benchmark for next season to improve on. That's the main thing. Hopefully our transfer business is not finished, because we do have a lot of players that are out of contract in the summer. Pelly, Bradley, Pearson, Collins, there's a few players that need to sign new deals. So hopefully a few of those players could sign up for the future. And yeah, it's exciting times at Luton, you know. I'm very excited. Well done to the board for getting transfers done. And yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Drop a like on today's video if you did. Comment below your thoughts about our transfer window. Let me know how you felt Nathan and the board did. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. The link is in the description below. If you haven't already, make sure you are following me across all my social media. And I'll see you guys in the next video.